My beloved child, quiet your heart and feel the breath of peace I am placing upon your soul. Do not rush past this moment as though it were only another passing sound in the noise of your day. Do not treat this pause as ordinary, and do not assume you are here by accident. I have gently interrupted your scrolling, not to startle you, not to pressure you, not to demand more from your weary heart, but to reach the hidden place within you that has been aching quietly for far too long. There are moments when heaven does not come with thunder, but with a soft hand upon the shoulder. There are moments when I slow your steps because I know you have been moving while wounded, smiling while carrying heaviness, answering others while leaving your own heart unanswered. And this is one of those moments. I have seen what you stopped mentioning. I have heard the silence that formed around the place you no longer knew how to explain. I know the thing that hurt too deeply to keep bringing up. I know the prayer that took too long. I know the wound that felt misunderstood when you tried to speak it. So little by little, you became quiet. My beloved child, I am not asking you to perform strength before me right now. You do not have to gather perfect words. You do not have to defend why it still hurts. You do not have to explain why a memory can still make your chest tighten, or why a disappointment from long ago can still echo in your present. Just remain here with me. Let your soul become still, the way water becomes calm when the wind stops pressing against it. Let your breathing slow. Let your hands unclench. Let your heart stop rehearsing what it would say if someone finally understood. I am here in this sacred interruption. I am here in the middle of the ordinary, turning this simple moment into a small altar of healing. What you thought was only a pause, I am using as an invitation. What you thought was only a video appearing before you, I am using as a gentle knock upon the door of a hidden room in your heart. Do not be afraid. I will not force the door open. I will not shame what is tender. I will not rush what needs gentleness. I am simply letting you know that I have come near. And if your spirit feels this message reaching a place you have not spoken about, let your response become a quiet agreement with healing, like this video, as a sign that your heart is opening to my touch. Subscribe if you need messages of peace to keep meeting you in weary seasons. And if this word is for you, leave these words in the comments. God is healing the hidden place. Let it be more than a sentence. Let it be a small act of faith. Let it be your heart whispering back to heaven, I am here, Lord, and I am ready to be seen by you. My beloved child, now that you have paused with me, let your heart understand this gently. The place you stopped naming is still known by me. The pain that no longer appears in your conversations has not disappeared from my sight. The ache you no longer bring into prayer with the same words you once used has not been misplaced in heaven. The wound that no longer produces visible tears, because you have cried until even your tears grew tired, is still held before me with compassion, tenderness, and holy attention. I know the disappointment behind the smile. I know the way you learned to answer, I am fine, while something inside you quietly lowered its eyes. I know the old betrayal that changed how freely you trusted. I know the unanswered question that sits beneath many other thoughts, not always loud, but always near. I know the grief that became too exhausting to explain, the memory you avoid, the name you do not speak, the hope you folded away because holding it open began to hurt too much. Before you hid it from others, I had already seen it with compassion. Do not be afraid. Do not pull away. Do not cover the place I have come to heal. I am not entering this hidden room of your heart with anger in my hands. I am not disappointed that you stopped talking about it. I am not offended by the silence that formed around your wound. I know why you became quiet. I know that some silence is not rebellion. Sometimes silence is the sound of a heart that grew weary of bleeding in front of people who did not know how to hold what was sacred, fragile, and unfinished. My beloved child, I saw the moment you realized that explaining did not always bring comfort. I saw the moment you felt unheard, even while you were speaking. I saw the moment you decided it was easier to carry the ache inwardly than to risk watching someone misunderstand it again. And even there, I did not turn away from you. I did not say, if you will not speak, I will not listen. I listened to what your words could no longer carry. I heard the trembling beneath your quietness. I read the prayer written in your breath when your mouth had no strength to form it. As written in the Psalms, I am near to the brokenhearted, and I save those who are crushed in spirit. Do you see, my child? I did not say, I am near only to those who can explain their brokenness clearly. I did not say I come close only when the wound is easy to name, organized, understood, and presented without tears. I am near to the broken-hearted. I am near to the place that still aches without language. I am near to the part of you that learned to survive by becoming quiet. So let this truth settle over you like morning light entering a room that has been closed for a long time. Silence did not make your pain invisible to me. Time did not make me forget it. Your smile did not confuse me. Your strength did not deceive me. Your service to others did not hide your need from my eyes. I have always known where the wound lives, and I have never looked at it with disgust. I have looked at it the way a healer looks upon what must be restored, the way a shepherd looks upon what must be carried, the way a father looks upon a beloved child who has been trying to be brave for too long. Do not be afraid. Do not pull away. Do not cover the place I have come to heal. You are not being exposed for punishment. You are being seen for restoration. I am not asking you to relive everything at once. I am not asking you to open every door in a single breath. I am simply telling you that the place you stopped naming has never been forgotten by me. And because I remember it with love, I can touch it without shame. I can enter it without violence. I can bring light into it without making you feel condemned. My beloved child, let your heart rest in this. You did not have to keep the wound alive by speaking of it for me to keep caring. You did not have to prove that it mattered by mentioning it again and again. It mattered because you matter. It mattered because your heart is precious to me. And now, in this quiet moment, I am drawing near to what others may have overlooked, not to reopen it carelessly, but to begin healing what has waited so long beneath the surface of your soul. My beloved child, hear me now with the gentleness your heart has needed for so long. I did not force the door, I waited beside it. I did not stand outside the hidden room of your pain with impatience in my voice. I did not knock with anger. I did not demand that you open before you were able. I knew that behind that door was not rebellion, but tenderness. I knew that behind that silence was not defiance, but a soul that had learned to protect what felt too fragile to be touched again. There are people who may have wanted answers from you before you knew how to give them. There are voices that may have asked why you were not over it yet, why you changed, why you became quieter, why your joy did not return as quickly as they expected. Some may have measured your healing by what they could see on your face, by how quickly you smiled again, by whether you could speak about it without trembling. But I do not measure healing the way people measure it. I do not confuse silence with absence. I do not confuse numbness with hardness. I do not confuse the stillness of a wounded heart with the refusal of a stubborn one. Do you see, my child? Your heart was not built to be forced open. Even a flower does not unfold because the morning shouts at it. It opens when light rests upon it, when warmth surrounds it, when the season becomes gentle enough for what was hidden to rise. So it is with you. I have known that your heart needed warmth before words, presence before explanation, safety before surrender. That is why I waited. That is why I stayed near. That is why, even when you thought nothing was happening, my love remained close, like a lamp left burning through the night. What you call silence, I call the place where I have been waiting with you. What you call numbness, I call the quiet covering your soul used while it was trying to survive. What you call distance, I call the space where I sat beside you without condemnation, whispering peace even when you could not hear it clearly. I did not leave because you had no words. I did not withdraw because your prayers became shorter. I did not turn away because all you could do was breathe and keep going. I was there in the breathing. I was there in the continuing. I was there in the small strength that carried you through days you never fully explained to anyone. As written in Revelation, I stand at the door and knock. Do you see, my child? I stand, I knock, I wait. I do not break down the door of the heart I created. I do not violate the place I came to heal. My love is powerful, but my power is never cruel. My presence is holy, but my holiness does not crush the wounded one who is trembling. I come with patience. I come with mercy. I come with the kind of tenderness that knows how long grief can echo and how carefully trust must be rebuilt. So now, if you are able, place your hand gently over your heart. Do not make this complicated. Do not search for perfect words. Let your hand rest there as a small sign that you are allowing me to come near. Breathe slowly, my beloved child. Breathe in and remember that I am not rushing you. Breathe out and release the fear that I am disappointed in the pace of your healing. Let this simple moment become a quiet prayer without needing many sentences. Let your heart say only this: Lord, you may come near. I am not asking you to unlock every room today. I am not asking you to explain every scar. I am not asking you to feel everything at once. I am only inviting you to notice that I have been patient with you in ways you did not always recognize. While others hurried you, I held you. While others questioned you, I understood you. While others expected visible recovery, I tended the hidden roots beneath the soil of your soul. Do not be afraid of my nearness. I know how to touch what is tender without tearing it. I know how to enter what is wounded without bringing shame. I know how to begin again in places you thought would remain closed forever. Healing begins gently because I know the heart cannot be rushed open. And today, my beloved child, I am not pushing the door. I am sitting beside it with you, covering you with peace, waiting until love makes you feel safe enough to let the light in. My beloved child, what you buried in silence, I am bringing into light without shame. I am not reaching into the hidden place to expose you before others. I am not lifting the covering from your wound so that you will feel embarrassed, small, or condemned. I am not drawing near to make you relive pain without purpose. I am touching what has been buried because buried pain cannot be fully healed while it remains wrapped in fear. And I love you too deeply to let the most tender part of you remain alone in the dark. Do not be afraid of my light. The light I bring is not the harsh light of accusation. It is not the light of a courtroom where your heart is placed on trial. It is not the light of human judgment where people look quickly, speak carelessly, and misunderstand what they have not had the patience to hold. My light is the light of a healer bending close to clean what has been wounded. My light is the first gentle brightness of morning entering a room after a long night. My light does not come to humiliate. My light comes to reveal what love is ready to restore. There is a difference, my child, between being exposed and being healed. Shame exposes in order to make you hide again. Love reveals in order to set you free. Shame says, look what happened to you. Look what you did. Look what you could not stop. Look how long you have carried this. But my love says, bring it here, beloved. Bring the rejection that taught you to expect abandonment. Bring the prayer that seemed unanswered and left you wondering whether heaven had gone silent. Bring the family wound that shaped the way you learned to protect yourself. Bring the failure you replayed until it became louder than my mercy. Bring the loss that changed the sound of your laughter. Bring the moment you felt left behind, unseen, unwanted, or forgotten. Bring the words spoken over you that still echo in quiet places, even though years have passed and faces have changed. I know those words, my beloved child. I know the sentences that entered your heart like thorns. I know the labels you never agreed with, yet somehow began carrying. I know the cruel silence that felt like rejection. I know the absence that taught you to question your worth. I know the door that closed and seemed to confirm your deepest fear. I know the day you tried to be strong while something inside you quietly broke. And now I am not coming to accuse you for being affected by what hurt you. I am coming to free you from the lie that the wound is something you must hide from me. The Lord is near to the brokenhearted, as written in Psalm 34. Do you see, my child, near, not far away, not waiting until you become stronger, not standing at a distance until you can speak without trembling. I am near to the brokenhearted. I am already present in the hidden room of pain. I am already close to the place you thought was too complicated, too old, too sensitive, or too heavy to bring into prayer again. My nearness did not begin when you found the courage to name it. My nearness was there when it happened. My nearness was there when you buried it. My nearness was there when you kept living while carrying the ache beneath your ordinary days. So let me bring it into light slowly. Let me touch the edges first. Let me show you that there is no disgust in my gaze. Let me prove to your trembling heart that I can see all of it and still call you beloved. You do not have to cover the wound with explanations. You do not have to make the story sound cleaner than it was. You do not have to protect me from your grief or edit your tears before they reach my presence. I am not overwhelmed by what overwhelmed you. I am not confused by what confused you. I am not ashamed of the place you learned to hide. A seed hidden in dark soil is not forgotten, my child. For a season, it may look buried. It may look unseen. It may look as though nothing beautiful could ever come from that covered place. But beneath the soil, there is work the eye cannot measure. There is softening. There is breaking that is not destruction. There is life preparing to rise where only darkness seemed to be. So it is with you. The place you thought was only buried has been known by me. The place you thought was only silent has been held by my mercy. And even after a long unseen season, a garden can still bloom. Do not despise the hidden season, because you could not see the roots forming. Do not assume that because healing did not happen quickly, it was not happening at all. Some restoration begins beneath the surface, where no one applauds it, where no one notices it, where even you may wonder if anything is changing. But I have been working deeper than appearances. I have been preparing the soil of your heart with patience. I have been removing stones of fear, softening places hardened by disappointment, watering what felt dry with quiet grace. Little by little, day by day, I have been making room for life to return. My beloved child, you are safe with me in the light. You are safe when the memory rises. You are safe when tears come. You are safe when the wound you thought you had buried begins to breathe beneath my hand. This is not punishment. This is not condemnation. This is not me dragging your pain into the open to make you feel small. This is healing without shame. This is mercy entering the hidden place. This is love saying, you no longer have to carry this alone in the dark. So open your heart only as much as you are able today. Let the light come gently. Let my nearness meet the buried place. Let the old ache be seen by the one who has never stopped loving you. I am bringing what was hidden into light, not because I am angry with you, but because I am ready to heal you. And where shame once told you to hide, my peace will begin to whisper, you are seen, you are held, and you are still mine. My beloved child, now let me speak to the long season around the wound, because I know you have not only carried the pain itself, but also the questions that gathered around it like clouds that would not move. You wondered why healing took so much time. You wondered why the ache could quiet for a while, and then rise again without warning. You wondered why prayers that seemed simple to ask felt so slow to answer. You wondered why I did not remove the heaviness in a single moment, why I allowed process, why I allowed waiting, why I allowed you to keep walking while the deeper place was still tender beneath the surface. Hear me gently. The delay was not abandonment. What you call waiting, I call preparation. What looked to you like silence, I was using as a holy space where your heart could become ready for healing that would not merely touch the surface, but reach the root. I was not ignoring the wound. I was preparing the places around it, because deep healing cannot be rushed without harming the very heart it came to restore. A gardener does not pull at the roots to make the plant grow faster. A healer does not tear away what must first be softened. A father does not hurry a trembling child into trust. So I moved slowly because my love was careful. Sometimes, my beloved child, you asked me to heal the symptom, but I was reaching for the root. You asked me to change the behavior, but I was healing the memory beneath it. You asked me to fix the circumstance, but I was restoring the identity that had been bruised by it. You asked me for visible breakthrough, but I was teaching your heart to trust again before the door opened, because I knew that if the door opened too soon, the same fear might walk through it with you. I knew that if the blessing arrived before the wound was steadied, you might carry old pain into a new place and call it protection, when it was really fear still wearing armor. Do you see, my child? Not every closed door was rejection. Some doors remained closed because I was protecting you from returning too quickly to what would have reopened the same wound. Some delays were mercy. Some pauses were shelter. Some unanswered prayers were not my refusal to love you, but my wisdom covering you while your heart learned how to receive without clinging, how to hope without panic, how to trust without needing to control every outcome. I was not keeping goodness from you. I was preparing you to receive goodness without losing peace. Look at Joseph, my beloved child. He did not understand the pit when he was thrown into it, and he did not understand the prison when he was forgotten there. Yet, even in the hidden places, I was with him. I was shaping wisdom, humility, endurance, and discernment before the palace ever called his name. Look at David in the field, unseen by many, faithful among sheep, while kingship was still far from public view. I was preparing his hands, his courage, his worship, and his heart before the crown touched his head. Look at Elijah beneath the tree, weary enough to ask for the journey to end. I did not rebuke his exhaustion. I fed him. I let him rest. I strengthened him before I sent him forward again. So it is with you. I have held you in seasons you thought were wasted. I have been near in rooms where nothing seemed to change. I have used quiet days, tearful nights, delayed answers, and closed doors to prepare a healing deep enough to last. Do not despise the time it has taken. Do not call yourself forgotten because the restoration came slowly. Dawn does not arrive all at once, yet the night cannot stop it. Rain does not soften the ground in a single drop, yet drop by drop the soil becomes ready for seed. My beloved child, I am still guiding you. I am still making a way. I am still touching what you cannot see. What you called delay, I was using as preparation for deep healing. And when the appointed season opens before you, you will understand that I was not late. I was loving you at the root, where only my hand could reach. My beloved child, now that I have spoken to the waiting, let me speak to who you are beneath it. The wound is not your name, and it is not your future. What happened to you may have shaped a season, but it does not have permission to define the whole story of your life. You are not the betrayal. You are not the rejection. You are not the diagnosis. You are not the divorce. You are not the failure. You are not the unanswered season. You are not the thing that broke your rhythm, interrupted your joy, or caused you to question whether you would ever feel whole again. Hear me with the deepest part of your heart. Before pain ever touched you, I knew you. Before disappointment ever marked a chapter of your life, I called you beloved. Before people misunderstood you, left you, judged you, forgot you, or failed to protect what was tender in you, my love was already speaking a truer name over your soul. I did not meet you at the wound. I formed you before it. I breathed purpose into you before the ache had a voice. I placed worth within you before anyone had the chance to mishandle it. Do not allow one painful season to become the title over your entire life. Do not let what you survive become the only mirror through which you see yourself. I know the wound has spoken loudly. I know it has whispered in quiet moments, telling you to expect less, trust less, hope less, ask for less, dream less, and become smaller so you will not be hurt again. But my voice is deeper than that wound. My word over you is older than your sorrow. My love for you is stronger than the story fear has tried to write. You are my beloved child. You are carried. You are seen. You are restored. You are chosen. You are still capable of receiving joy. Yes, joy, my child. Not the shallow kind that pretends nothing happened, but the holy kind that rises even after tears. The kind that comes softly, like light returning to a room that had forgotten morning. The kind that does not erase your story, but proves your story did not end where the pain began. What fear has held, I am teaching to trust. What numbness has covered, I am awakening with tenderness. What shame has wrapped in silence, I am clothing with peace. What exhaustion has drained, I am filling with quiet strength. Little by little, day by day, the inner climate of your soul is changing. You may not notice every shift at once, but healing is already moving through you like a river beneath the ground, finding the dry places, softening the hard places, carrying life back to the roots. Do you see, my child? I am not turning you into someone unfamiliar. I am leading you back to the person I created you to be from the beginning. I am not asking you to become a stranger to yourself. I am removing what pain placed upon you, what fear attached to you, what rejection named you, what shame tried to seal over you. I am calling forward the tenderness that disappointment buried. I am calling forward the courage that weariness covered. I am calling forward the hope that waited quietly beneath all the reasons you thought hope had died. As written in my word, I have called you by name. You are mine. Not called by your wound, not called by your loss, not called by your lowest moment, called by name, held by love, covered by mercy. Do not be afraid to believe that I still see beauty in you. Do not be afraid to receive identity from my mouth instead of from your pain. And if your heart is ready to agree with this restoration, write these words in the comments. I am not my wound. I am being healed by God. Let it be more than a sentence. Let it be a declaration over the place that has carried the wrong name for too long. Let it be your soul standing up softly and saying, I am still here, I am still loved, and I am still becoming whole. My beloved child, the wound is not your name, and it is not your future. I am restoring you from the inside. I am returning peace to places where fear once lived. I am teaching your heart to breathe again, and the person you thought pain had buried is not gone. I have been holding that person all along, and now, with tenderness, I am bringing you back. My beloved child, now open your hands and let me touch what you could not fix. Do not rush past this moment as if surrender must be complicated. Let your palms rest open before me, even if no one else can see them. Let this simple posture become a prayer your soul may not yet know how to speak. You do not need perfect words. You do not need a polished explanation. You do not need to gather all the broken pieces and arrange them neatly before bringing them to me. Just open your hands, my child, and let them say, Father, I am tired of carrying what only you can heal. I love the language of open hands, because heaven understands it very well. Closed hands often cling to anxiety, to control, to old pain, to the need to understand everything before trusting again. Closed hands hold tightly to questions that have worn the heart thin. Closed hands carry the need to prove that you were hurt, the need to make someone finally understand, the need to receive every apology before peace is allowed to enter. And I know why your hands closed. I know you were trying to protect what had already been wounded. I know control began to feel like safety when trust had been shaken. I do not condemn you for that, my beloved child. I only invite you now into something freer. Surrender is not weakness. Hear me gently. Surrender is not you pretending the wound did not matter. Surrender is not excusing what harmed you, nor is it denying the tears you cried in hidden places. Surrender is the deep strength of a heart that finally knows it is not alone. It is the holy courage of placing into my hands what your hands were never created to mend by themselves. It is not giving up on healing. It is giving up the exhausting belief that healing depends entirely on your ability to understand, repair, explain, remember, defend, and carry everything without help. Do you see, my child? Some burdens become heavier not because they are yours to keep, but because they have been held too long in hands that were meant to receive grace. The need to be vindicated, bring it here. The need for every person to understand your pain exactly, bring it here. The apology that never came, bring it here. The conversation you replayed again and again, bring it here. The ache of being misread, overlooked, dismissed, or left alone in the moment you needed tenderness, bring it here. I am not asking you to say it did not hurt. I am asking you to let me hold the hurt with you, and then for you, until your soul learns how to breathe without gripping it. As written in my word, cast all your cares upon me, because I care for you, not some of your cares. Not only the cares that seem spiritual enough, not only the burdens you can explain without trembling. All your cares, my beloved child. The old one, the hidden one, the confusing one, the one that still rises when a certain memory, place, voice, or silence touches it. Place it into my hands. My hands are not fragile. My hands are not careless. My hands shaped the mountains, held back seas, lifted the fallen, touched the unclean, blessed the weary, and carried wounds for the healing of the world. So breathe slowly now. Open your hands a little more if you can. Let your heart learn from your body. As the hands open, the heart begins to understand that it does not have to hold everything closed in order to survive. As the fingers loosen, peace begins to enter the places where fear once tightened its grip. Little by little, day by day, surrender will teach your soul that release is not lost when what you release is placed into my keeping. My beloved child, you have tried so hard to fix what only my love can mend. You have analyzed, endured, explained, hidden, prayed, waited, and carried. I have seen it all. Now let me carry what remains too heavy for you. Let me touch what still aches beneath your strength. Let me hold what your soul can no longer hold. Open your hands before me, and do not be afraid. I am here, I am gentle, I am able. And as you place the wound into my hands, my peace will begin to rest in yours. My beloved child, as your hands open before me, my peace will begin to settle where pain once lived. Not merely as a passing feeling that visits for a moment and disappears when another memory rises, but as a new climate within you, a holy atmosphere forming in the very place that once ached. I am not only calming the surface of your emotions, I am renewing the inner room where fear built its dwelling, where anxiety learned to sit, where sorrow left its imprint, and where you wondered if rest would ever feel natural again. Peace will come gently, my child. It will enter like morning light, touching the edge of a closed curtain, not forcing itself in, but spreading softly until the room begins to remember brightness. It will come like rain upon dry ground, not always in a storm of sudden change, but drop by drop, softening what disappointment made hard. It will come like a river returning to a silent valley, bringing movement to places that had grown still, bringing sound to places that had forgotten the song of living water. And little by little, what once felt barren within you will begin to receive life again. Do not measure my peace only by whether you feel strong every hour. Do not assume healing has stopped because a tender memory still rises. Do not fear the days when your heart feels quiet and unfinished. Peace does not always begin as a shout of victory. Sometimes peace begins as one breath that no longer feels trapped. Sometimes peace begins as one night when your thoughts do not chase you with the same force. Sometimes peace begins as the small ability to say, "Father, this still hurts, but I am not alone with it anymore. Peace I leave with you, my peace I give to you," as written in John 14. Do you see, my child? The peace I give is not borrowed from circumstances. It does not depend on every person understanding you, every answer arriving, every door opening, or every ache disappearing at once. My peace comes from my own heart, and because it comes from me, it can enter the exact room where fear used to live. It can stand guard at the doorway of your thoughts. It can rest upon the memory that once shook you. It can quiet the place where your soul learned to expect harm, rejection, loss, or disappointment. The peace I give is not an escape from life. It is my presence becoming steady inside your life. It is not denial. It is not numbness. It is not pretending the wound never existed. It is heaven's order, gently returning to a place where pain created confusion. It is the stillness of knowing that I am with you, that I am for you, that I am healing you deeper than you can yet explain. My peace will help you discern the difference between a warning and an old fear, between wisdom and self-protection, between patience and delay, between rest and giving up. Let my peace truly become the new operating system of your soul. And because peace is being formed within you, let it be welcomed through simple rhythms. Each morning, before the noise of the day gathers around you, open your hands again and say, "Father, I receive your peace for this hidden place." You do not need many words. Let the open hands speak. Let the first breath of morning remind your soul that you are not waking up alone. Let the light outside your window become a small witness that darkness does not have the final word over what I am restoring. In the middle of the day, when pressure rises or a memory touches the tender place, pause for a few seconds and breathe this prayer. My Father is near, and his peace is here. Breathe it slowly. Do not rush. Let the breath become a doorway through which my comfort enters again. You may be at work, in a car, in a room full of people, or sitting alone with thoughts you cannot fully organize, but I am there. I am still guiding you. I am still making a way. I am still placing peace where fear once spoke loudly. And when evening comes, look back gently, not to accuse yourself, but to notice grace. Name one thing that carried you. Name one mercy, one small beauty, one moment where you were not swallowed by what once overwhelmed you. Then speak one honest sentence to me about what still hurts. Only one, if that is all your heart can offer. Say, "Lord, this part is still tender." Say, "Father, I still need help here." Say, "God, I do not know how to release this fully yet." My beloved child, honesty is not failure. Honest prayer is a door opening in the quiet. Little by little, day by day, the wounded place will learn a new weather. Where fear once moved like a cold wind, my peace will begin to rest like sunlight. Where anxiety once gathered like heavy clouds, my presence will begin to clear the sky within you. Where grief once made the room feel empty, my comfort will begin to dwell there with a gentleness that does not leave. You may not look dramatic on the outside. Others may not notice every quiet change, but I see the root receiving water. I see the soil softening. I see the first green of new life beneath the surface. So do not despise slow healing. Do not call small peace meaningless. Do not overlook the sacred miracle of waking up one day and realizing the wound did not command your whole heart the way it once did. I am renewing you from within. I am making the aching place habitable for peace. I am teaching your soul that rest can live where fear used to live. My peace will not merely visit the wounded place, my beloved child. My peace will begin to live there, and the room that once held only pain will become a sanctuary of my presence within you. My beloved child, the peace I am forming in the wounded place will not remain only a private comfort hidden within you. It will first become rest for your own soul, because I do not heal you merely to make you useful. I heal you because you are loved. I restore you because you are mine. I touch the place you stopped talking about because my heart has always been tender toward you. But in the quiet wisdom of my kingdom, the very place that once made you feel ashamed, fragile, or alone will one day become a well of gentleness for someone else who is still learning how to breathe. Do not be afraid of this, my child. I am not asking you to hurry into a testimony before the wound has known my tenderness. I am not asking you to stand before others with words you are not ready to speak. I am not asking you to turn pain into performance or healing into pressure. First, let me heal you. First, let me hold you. First, let my peace become steady in the room that once ached. There is no rush in my love. Fruit does not appear the same day the seed is placed in the soil. A tree does not offer shade before its roots have learned how to drink deeply. So, let the roots drink, my beloved child. Let grace go deep. But know this, I do not waste tears. I do not waste hidden battles. I do not waste the prayers you whispered when no one knew how much strength it took for you to keep going. Every silent cry that rose from your heart reached me. Every night you survived with trembling faith was seen by me. Every moment you chose not to become hard, even though pain gave you many reasons to close, was gathered by my hands. What the enemy meant to turn into shame, I will turn into compassion. What fear tried to make into a prison, I will turn into a doorway of mercy. Do you see, my child? When I heal a wound, I do not simply erase a chapter as if it never existed. I redeem it. I breathe into it. I remove the poison from it, and then I allow wisdom to grow where bitterness once tried to take root. You will become softer without becoming weaker. You will become wiser without becoming suspicious. You will become more discerning without becoming closed. The part of you being healed will teach you how to sit beside another person without rushing their process, how to listen without judgment, how to speak with tenderness, how to recognize pain that has not yet found language. Look at Peter, my beloved child. He denied me in the hour of fear, and his own failure must have echoed loudly within him. Yet I did not let denial become his name. I restored him with love. I met him not with condemnation, but with a question that called his heart back to devotion. And the one who had wept over his own weakness became a shepherd of many. Look at Mary, who answered with humble surrender, saying, "Let it be unto me according to your word." Her calling did not come because her life was easy or understood by everyone. It came through trust, through hidden obedience, through the willingness to carry what others could not yet comprehend. So it is with you. Broken chapters do not cancel calling. Tender places do not disqualify you from purpose. The wound that once made you feel less than others will one day help you treat others with greater care. The silence you endured will help you hear what others are not saying. The long night you survived will help you recognize the first light in someone else's darkness. And when the appointed time comes, you may not even need many words. Your peace will speak. Your gentleness will speak. Your patience will speak. The way you make room for another weary heart will become a quiet testimony that I am a healer. Do not force this future. Do not try to turn your pain into a platform. Let love make you whole in secret before it sends you with compassion in public. Let me teach you how to live, healed, before you try to explain healing. And when I bring someone across your path who carries an ache they cannot name, you will not meet them from pride, but from mercy. You will not say, "I know everything." You will simply carry a presence that says, "You are not alone, and God can touch even this." My beloved child, your life will become proof that I can reach what people never knew how to name. The hidden wound I am healing will not remain a prison of shame. It will become a place of compassion, a garden watered by grace, a quiet shelter where another soul may finally breathe again. And now, my beloved child, let this become a prayer. Do not hurry. Do not perform. Do not search for perfect words. Let your heart come honestly before me, as it is, with the tender places, the tired places, the questions, the memories, and the quiet ache you have carried beneath ordinary days. Let this prayer rise like incense from the room within you that has been waiting for light. Loving Almighty Father, today I stand before you with all that I am, including the places I stopped speaking about. I do not come pretending to be untouched. I do not come hiding the parts of me that still tremble. I come with the hidden grief, the old betrayal, the disappointment I could not explain, the fear that learned to speak quietly in the background of my life, and the shame that tried to convince me I had to keep this wound covered forever. Father, I bring you the place I stopped naming because I did not know if anyone could understand it. I bring you the memories that still ache beneath ordinary days. I bring you the tears that never reached another person's ears but were always heard by you. Touch what is hidden, Lord. Touch the grief that has been folded away for so long. Touch the betrayal that changed how I trusted. Touch the disappointment that made hope feel dangerous. Touch the fear that taught my heart to expect loss before love, silence before comfort, and rejection before belonging. Touch the shame that wrapped itself around my pain and whispered that I should have healed sooner, moved on faster, understood more clearly, or become stronger without needing help. Let your mercy speak louder than every accusing voice. Let your tenderness enter where self-protection has stood guard. Let your light come into the room I closed, not to expose me with condemnation, but to heal me with love. Holy Spirit, breathe upon the part of me that pain tried to silence. Restore the voice of prayer where sorrow made me quiet. Restore the courage to feel without being overwhelmed. Restore the ability to hope without panic. Restore the tenderness that disappointment buried. Restore the trust that was fractured by what happened. Restore the joy that did not die, but waited beneath the heaviness for your breath to call it upward again. Where my heart became numb, let life return gently. Where my thoughts became anxious, let peace begin to rule. Where my soul learned to shrink, let love teach me to open again, slowly, safely, in your presence. Father, place your peace as a guard over my heart and mind. As written in your word, the peace of God, which surpasses all understanding, will guard hearts and minds in Christ Jesus. Let that peace stand at the doorway of my thoughts. Let it guard me when old memories rise. Let it guard me when I do not understand why healing has taken time. Let it guard me when I feel tender without warning. Let it guard me when I am tempted to call myself forgotten, because some answers have not yet arrived. Let your peace become stronger within me than the echo of what hurt me. I declare in your presence that I am not abandoned, I am not forgotten, I am not disqualified, I am not beyond healing, I am not too late for restoration, I am not too broken for your hands. I am not defined by the wound, the silence, the betrayal, the loss, the fear, or the season that made me wonder whether I would ever feel whole again. I am your beloved child. I am seen by you. I am held by you. I am being restored by you. What shame called ruined, you call redeemable. What fear called finished, you call still becoming. What pain tried to bury, your love is bringing gently into light. Lord, give me courage to open again, not all at once, not under pressure, not to prove anything to anyone, but in the quiet rhythm of trust. Teach me to open my hands when I want to close them. Teach me to breathe when the ache rises. Teach me to bring you the honest sentence instead of hiding behind silence. Teach me to receive comfort without feeling weak. Teach me to let your love reach the place I could not fix by myself. And now, Father, what remains unresolved, I place into your hands. The apology that never came, I place into your hands. The answer I still do not have, I place into your hands. The relationship I cannot repair alone, I place into your hands. The memory I cannot change, I place into your hands. The grief that still visits, the fear that still trembles, the question that still lingers, the wound that still needs your touch, I place it all into your hands. Bring what has been wounded into your light. Bring what has been silenced into your healing presence. Bring what has been hidden beneath strength into the safety of your mercy. I trust you with the place I stopped talking about, because you never stopped seeing it. I trust you with the part of me that still aches, because your love has never turned away. I trust you with the healing I can feel and the healing I cannot yet see. My heart is open before you, Father. My wound is in your hands. My future is covered by your peace. Amen. My beloved child, carry this peace with you now. Do not leave this moment as though you must explain everything, fix everything, understand everything, or prove to anyone how deeply the wound has touched you. Leave with this quiet assurance resting over your soul. I have seen the place you stopped talking about, and I am already touching it with love. I am not waiting for you to become stronger before I come near. I am near now. I am gentle now. I am healing now. My beloved child, I am still guiding you. I am still making a way. I am still healing what you thought would always hurt. The ache that felt permanent is not greater than my mercy. The silence that felt endless is not stronger than my voice. The wound that felt hidden is not hidden from me. You will breathe easier again. You will trust again, slowly and wisely, without losing the tenderness I placed within you. You will sleep with more peace. You will wake with less heaviness. You will begin to recognize that healing has already begun, even before every circumstance around you has changed. Do not despise the quiet beginning. Sometimes the first sign of healing is not a dramatic change outside of you, but a small stillness within you, a breath that comes more gently, a memory that no longer takes the whole room, a prayer that rises without fear, a moment when your heart says, I am still here, and God is still with me. That is holy, my child. That is my peace taking root. And now, if this message has brought peace to your heart, stay near to these God-centered words. Subscribe so more peaceful messages can continue to meet you in ordinary moments when your soul needs to remember that I am close. Share this with someone who may be carrying a silent wound, someone who smiles but still aches, someone who needs to know that I have not forgotten them. Like this, as a quiet agreement with my healing work in your life, not as a performance, but as a small act of faith saying, Father, I receive what you are doing. And because this has been a prayer over the hidden place, leave your prayer request in the comments. You may share as much or as little detail as feels safe. Simply name the area where you desire. My touch, grief, trust, family, fear, shame, waiting, loss, healing, or peace. You are not alone in prayer. Write, God is touching the place I stopped talking about, and let that be your agreement of faith today.